So, my name is Ali. I'm a migrant living in Slovakia. I'm ethnically Iranian, but my nationality is now Greek. I've been a political refugee for 25 years and an EU citizen for almost five. So, I was a political refugee in Greece, and then that's where I got my nationality and my citizenship and my EU rights. And then I migrated to Sofia, Bulgaria, for 2 years almost, and then I came to Slovakia. So I've been going from country to country a bit. I've been in Slovakia for, I think, almost a year and a half, and it's been a pretty cool experience as a migrant here. One of the biggest challenges is socializing. Not because they're not hospitable here, just because the behavior and the way we socialize maybe in Slovakia is quite different than how we socialize in Greece. In Greece, it's as simple as I can just pick up my phone, like call someone or text, and then I will be able to go out and hang around for hours, drinking a coffee. We have a different coffee culture and hanging out culture. So this is one of the biggest challenges I had to overcome. Here, in like Central Europe, it's a bit different. You have to like plan it months ahead. And also, not every person or group is open to have like people from other parts of the world too. Mostly because I haven't assimilated or I haven't been integrated that much in the culture. So a lot of the cultural jokes or even things that are happening around, I'm not that aware of. So I don't know, discussions have to be about like pop culture or like some abstract or more broad political discussions or something like that. So the hanging out culture is different. And also for a migrant, it's different to like hang out with people that you knew and you grew up with in like the same neighborhood or school versus, finding new people completely that also are quite different from your own culture. So I think that was one of the biggest challenges I had migrating. This was also in Sofia, it was here, and in any other country I've been to as well. Yeah, I've seen other migrants being uncomfortable, excluded. I've been one of them as well. Not that much. I would have to say I don't know if I'm lucky in that sense, that I had friends or coworkers or colleagues that always kept me around and like tried to invite me in a conversation. But when I go to a gathering where it's Slovaks mostly, and there's like one foreigner over there, I found like I empathize with them, so I usually try to like hang around with them and we'll talk about our common struggles. That's like one of the best ways to connect and not to make them feel so excluded. There have been cases where I felt that I had like a Slovak friend or a couple of Slovak friends and they're going out, and I would invite other foreigners too, because it's a great way of connecting. Actually, I think I was connected to Slovaks through other foreigners too, or migrants. That's what I would do usually, and it happens. There's language barriers, so people do feel a bit excluded. But the best thing is to just invite them, interpret what they have to say. I never had that problem in Slovakia where someone was having to interpret for me what was happening in discussion. No one felt offended. No one felt that okay, now this is an extra burden or anything. They feel pretty good inviting you. It's quite polite and decent, I have to say. We do have other migrants in our workplace, like where I work. I work in an NGO with Erasmus project, so we have people from all around the world. We had different types of migrants from different places and cultures. In order to make them feel more included and comfortable, I think what we did was like team building exercises, which like also took in the cultural aspect of it. So we hanged around, we socialized like Slovaks do, or in Bulgaria like Bulgarians do. So I think that was a great thing. It was like kind of an intercultural exchange. It's always nice to bring food or some kind of trinket or item to the Slovaks here in the office. They really appreciate it because it's like a multicultural environment. So food, dancing, and socializing is like one of the best ways to make someone that's a migrant that's foreign, to feel more included in the workforce. And also the comfort part of it, I think, comes from being able to also help them in like the bureaucratic processes, because that's the issue that I think most migrants have problems with and struggle with in any country. Yeah. I think empathy has a really important role in making an inclusive environment for migrants. Migrants come with like a bundle of different contexts, different religious backgrounds, different backgrounds overall, different purposes as well. Migrants aren't only just for, let's say, labor force, but it's also for connections with people, for trying to improve something maybe in their own country or the country that they're living in. So empathy kind of fits in really well, because you have to put yourself in that position in order to understand why they're doing some things that they're doing, why maybe sometimes they're late. Like a classic example, and I have like really high anxiety for this, like if I see on Google Maps how to get from point A to point B, but something changes on the spot, there's an announcement, the driver said something has changed, I don't know where to go if it's not said in English. There are these like small micro situations that migrants have to go through that for other people may not be even like an issue. The driver said that we have to change the bus and go to this station that's over there, but if you tell me this in a language I don't understand, I won't be able to do so. Or if there is a better way of getting to somewhere. So putting yourself in that position, putting yourself in their shoes, and you're in that position nonetheless, it's quite important to make them feel included and actually see what their needs are, because we all come from a different place. There are a lot of biases and assumptions, and I don't want to start mentioning some because I think it's giving power to them. There are a lot of biases, but I think the one I would like to address would be we have more benefits sometimes, I heard, or that we are getting like jobs from other people. That's not true. If a migrant goes, and I did move to other countries for work and also for relationships and other personal reasons, I always felt I was in a disadvantage. We don't have more advantages than locals do, and that's just fine. We don't have the language, we don't have the know-how. Once we get it, I think it's more equal, I think, at least in most countries, as it should be. But we don't have any advantage. Like if I lose my job here, or if I lose it in Sofia or anything, it's more difficult for me to find a job or employment nonetheless, because I don't have the language, because I'm not Slovak or I'm not German. If I was in Germany, it's not that I'm saying that most people prefer to have locals, it's just that there are more barriers and more hurdles to go through when you're hiring someone that's a migrant, because they have different set of paperwork. If you're an EU citizen, it's better, but there's still complications because you're not a national. It's easier because I had to face both as a political refugee and as a migrant that was with an EU status. So there are no better, we don't take more jobs, or there are no better benefits for us. I understand that this pertains to the majority of migrants. There are some migrants I know that are highly specialized in what they do. So you would have to invite someone from abroad to work on something here, maybe let's say in Slovakia, that's highly specialized that they are doing in their country. I know Slovaks that go to the East because they're highly specialized in what they did in Slovakia and what they learned in the universities in Slovakia. So it goes both ways. But we're not taking anyone's job. No one feels threatened. We are actually at a disadvantage because of those reasons. And I think there are a lot of great efforts being made into leveling out the field, like even recognizing the degrees, right? Because I come from Greece, okay, I have a UK degree, but also in Greece it was difficult to be accepted. Depending on the positions, if you want to do anything in the public sector, that's a whole different hurdle itself. So I think that assumption is wrong, that sometimes migrants have it easier. It happened that I got this job or any other migrant got their jobs because of some certain circumstance and timing and what and specialty and everything like that. It's not automatically that you're a migrant, therefore you're more valued. There is a specific subset of people, but it doesn't apply to everyone, and it shouldn't be viewed as the general assumption for that. I think the most common challenge when adapting to a new place is language. That isn't just for like the bureaucratic processes or just for work, but it is when you want to go get a doctor's checkup, or when you need to go to the post office, or when you need to ask for a refund at the cashiers. That's one of the biggest issues, and a common thing I think we all face. And depending on the country which you're currently a migrant at, the differences in culture can be quite challenging. Socializing, for instance, and I did mention it also before, but it is a challenge, especially when you live in a city or a country where people don't hang out. Let's say after 8-9 o'clock. In Greece, you would go out for coffee around 8-9 o'clock p.m., right? So expanding your social circles is, I think, one pretty big common challenge that all foreigners have, all migrants have. In the winter, where you don't have that much opportunities to go out or hang around and maybe see someone like in the cafe and like sit with them, it can be quite challenging and to the point sad because you don't have anyone to interact with. And sometimes you just don't want to interact with the people from your same nationality. You want to interact with other people, with locals as well. Those cultural differences regarding socializing can be quite challenging at some point. I think a lot of these unconscious biases come from films, culture, social media, parents talking about it, because they may have a distorted or a very specific view on cultural language differences. People from X speak like this and therefore are like that. You know, that kind of trope. Trope may be another way of explaining this. It's difficult, even for migrants. Like, I think a lot of migrants have their own biases for other migrants as well. Like, we don't hang out with X people because of this and that. But surprisingly, it's difficult to avoid, but it's easy to manage. Because when this unconscious bias is one of the first things that comes to mind, or it influences one of the first reactions you have, if you keep an open mind to maybe ask a question regarding that difference in language and culture, it really helps. It's actually also pretty fun because you learn different words have different meanings. So you might know a word in Slovak, or I know one in Greek or in Farsi, and I'll be like, oh wait, but we have like a similar word for that. I think the most fun part is asking questions. Sometimes it can be tiring for migrants to ask all kinds of questions, and maybe silly questions as well. Coming from the Middle East, in Greece, people ask me about camels, about what color is the snow, some crazy things. Or they had some biases regarding like, oh, I didn't expect that you would be like this. I'm like, yeah, I am like that. You just had to ask. You just had to give me some space to introduce myself without these stereotypes or biases that you've connected with my name or with my heritage. People think I'm quite progressive, and when they see my name is Ali and I'm from Iran, or I say my nationality is from Iran, they have an image in their head of what to expect regarding my values, my maybe religious background, my cultural experiences. Sometimes I've gone through this enough that when I meet someone, at least, I can, in the first couple of minutes, if they give me that space, I can break those biases away. And I can see it sometimes, because their face expression changes, or the way they treat me even changes. Like, oh, okay. It's a bit different than I expected. It's quite interesting to see like that. Giving that space is quite useful for them, and that's how you can break through it. Just ask questions and give space for the people to introduce themselves like that. It's fun, actually. Even for myself, I did have those unconscious biases because I did consume the same media. Like you did, I consider myself pretty westernized. That, you know, I grew up more here. I followed more traditional Western media or European media. I'm not that connected to my culture, so it's interesting seeing people break their stereotype of me, and also me seeing how other people actually are, because there are a lot of people like us that their name or their background doesn't really tie with, you know, what you expect of them.